Hey, what's going on, everybody? Paul Turner here from the discipleproject.net, and I want to talk to you today about the three key components of a good theme night. Now, when I was a full time youth pastor, I loved a good theme night. Back in the day, one of my favorite ones was when we did Duck Dynasty. And Duck Dynasty, if you're not familiar, was a show on TV about these guys who had these duck collars and lived in Louisiana, and they had these huge beards, and it was a lot of fun to do. But the thing that made these theme nights that I did, whether it was that one or whether it was I did world record night type of thing, that there are elements that made these theme nights really work, and I want to give you three of them that I think that make any good theme night work. Number one, I think you have to have good games. And it doesn't have to be a lot of games unless your theme night is games. Like if you're doing the Olympics, right? And that's your theme night, then you want to have a fairly reasonable amount of games because that's what students expect you to do. They expect you to have a lot of games for Olympic night. Uh, but the games that you're going to have obviously coincide with the theme. If you did Olympics night and then did something crazy, well, I mean, you could do crazy things. I say that. I mean, I've done crazy Olympics, right, where you just do just off the wall, crazy games in teams. So it doesn't have to. You have to do the shot put, right? You don't have to. I mean, unless you do it with like a ham or something, that'd be fun. Um, but the three elements you really need, first of all, is games. So you got to have a good amount of games. If let's say you have if you meet for an hour, and if you're just trying to do the theme, right, and just you want to have a normal kind of youth meeting where it doesn't take up the whole thing, then I'm going to say that for an hour, I think 3 to 4 games is good. If you meet for 90 minutes, I'm going to say that 4 to 5 games is probably good because you don't want to. If you have a message, if you have worship, you have all those things as part of that, then you're going to have a limited amount of time to do that. I say the second thing that is going to be really make your theme night pop is your decor. All right, it's going to be how you design. If you have the Olympic theme, then why not build like a little podium, like a 3-tier podium where kids can stand, right? And say if they win their medal, and they, something funny they have. It could be a real medal, it could be a fake medal. But they have a podium there, like a 3-tier, like the 3-tier, but just like they have in the regular Olympics. And you can have, first, second, third place. But I also think that's a great metaphor, maybe, for your message, where you have, how do you go for the gold, right? How do you become a gold medal Christian, right? What is it required of you to be in the top there? And I think if Jesus was teaching that message, he'd say you'd have to be third place to be first place. So a little play on that. But I think that decor, whether you're doing one of my other favorite ones was Disney. We did a Disney Halloween night, and the great thing about that is I didn't have anything to do with it. The kids really nailed it. They crushed it. They decorated. They brought in food that was Disney themed. One time I think they put some glow in the dark stuff on the wall, so when the lights went out, it glowed. It was invisible, like invisible paint, and so you couldn't see it really when the lights were on. But when you turned it off, it went boom. It was there. But when they did that, I immediately had a freak out and said, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What if my pastor comes down here and sees this?" Well, the deal is just leave the lights on if your pastor is down there. Okay. So I think number one is you got to have good games. Number two, you got to have good decor to kind of build the theme to do that. And the third, I believe, is food. I think you have to have good food. Listen, if you do pizza every week, that's fine. That's great, but I don't think it goes along with your theme. And I think you got to have good food. And like I said, back to the Duck Dynasty. Duck Dynasty, we did at the end of every Duck Dynasty episode, they had a family meal, and which was really hallmark to the show. And for us, we did the same thing. We had a room upstairs, and we had tables out, and we wound up having a family dinner where like past the potatoes, like a family style, where you had bowls and bowls of things, and I had parents participate, and that really crushed it, man. I mean, once again, you can grab a slice of pizza, but you got to remember, food. Think about when you go out to eat. the environment, all those things put into play. Whether you want to eat family style or you go to a hibachi place and you're sitting there watching the guy or girl fix your food in front of you, you know, all these elements matter. And for me, the kids sitting around created that community that I really wanted to have in that. And so those, I believe, are the three key things you got to have for every theme night. You got to have good games. You got to have good decor to get that really sends the message. And I think you got to have good food. Now, if you're thinking about doing a theme night, I'm going to go over to my screen here because I want to show you something I developed for you. The new Shang-Chi and Legend of Ten Rings is coming up, and I thought, well, why not put together a little guide for you guys? If you want to do something like that and do a theme night, like a Marvel theme night, well, I've put together a guide for you to be able to pull that off, minus the cultural appropriation. Okay, we're not doing that. This is really focused on the rings. And this is, by the way, in giving this to you, this is pre-seeing the movie. I may update this after seeing the movie to include more themes of the movie if you wanted to use it. But I think you can use this based on the theme. So let me go ahead and jump to my screen here and show you what I have here. So this is the Youth Pastor's Guide to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which I forgot to put in there, but that's okay. I'll fix that. I think it's on the other one that I have here. I have a little quote from Stan Lee here. But it really goes into, let me get to the main core here of the things that I talked about here. I give you a little background of Shang-Chi and who the character is, and you know, what kind of the movie's about, what the synopsis of the movie is, things you need to know about that. And then I jump right into it. As far as the games go, I give you probably a dozen games here, right? That's just, you can click on the links and it will take you to the game that I found on YouTube for you, or it may take you to an Amazon link because I'm an Amazon affiliate. And there's some really cool games, ring games you can find on there that either you can use as part of the main part of your game service or your games in the service, or it can be pre or post, something the kids can sort of just play around with. So you have about a dozen games there. And then I jump into the message. And there are, by the way, there are the decor in there. I say message, and this is, listen, you have a message just about every time you have meet, right? So the decor is kind of melted in here. It's not a key feature. Maybe I'll update it. You leave me a comment down below. You tell me if you want a whole thing on decor concerning Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, okay? But the message I did is focused on the rings, right? You have options here that I give you of how you can do this, and I focused on the rings like this. Share ring. One of his disciples, right? Andrew Simon Peter says, right, here's a boy with 5 loaves, 2 small fishes, but what difference will these be among so many? And so I give you a little devotion there. And you can do, I think there's 10 of these. These are the 10 rings, right? These are the 10 rings. Sharing, caring, right? These are real simple. And you can do a 10-week series on it, or you can do 3, you know, just pick 3 or 4 or 5 of the 10 and just do that as a small little message in there. And by the way, I do include slides with this. So if you say, hey, I want some slides, great. I put in a few, I made some IG graphics. You can use those as well. So you have some games, you have a message, and then let's see, going down here, like I said, you go through all 10 of those. There's a lot there. Prepare ring. That's a good one. And then you have into the small groups. So I put small groups in there because if you're doing a traditional service, maybe you meet at the end. Maybe you have a small group to break down what was said. So in these here, I give you small group questions about caring, right? How do you know if someone is caring about what you care about? How do you practice caring for others? Why is it hard for you to care sometimes? What are the barriers to caring, right? So I have them for daring. So I have all the small group questions for you. So if you're interested in doing small groups at the end, or you can just use these. Once again, even if you don't do a whole theme night based around the movie, this could be something you use anytime. You can just use it for whatever you want to use it for and steal it for something else. But those are all the small group questions. And then I give you the food. This is the really kind of fun part here, right? Onion rings, bagels, pineapple rings. There's all kinds of food that you can use with this. I give you like little recipe links there that you can go to. And that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. It's just a fun little theme night that if you want to do it, the movie comes out next weekend as of this video. It's the first weekend of September, I believe. And there's a link down in the description below that if you want to get it, you can sign up for my newsletter. If you don't want to sign up for my newsletter, you can go to that link right there, gumroad.com/youthmenresources. You can pick it up there. But I tell you, if you sign up for the newsletter, you're going to get a lot of good information just like this in that newsletter in the form of videos, articles, quotes, all kinds of good stuff. So I want to encourage you to do that. So the two links will be down in the description below. I would like to hear from you, though. What kind of theme nights do you have planned for this fall? Leave me a comment. And don't forget, if you're brand new here to the channel, thank you so much for being a part here. Hit that subscribe button and be a part. You'll get videos like this in your inbox on a regular basis. And if you're a regular, thank you so much for your time and your attention. I appreciate you so much. Hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you like the video and you want more of them. And until the next video, guys, you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon.